how's everyone doing? Welcome to Ecff Studios. We're here with Rodney Newton, Anthony Reese, and Carl. We're going to be talking about the upcoming spring session for 2013. First off topic we're going to get into is the Gators. The Gators won the championship last year. Who do we think can dethrone them, Ant?
I'm going to have to go with the Silverbacks.
Okay, and why do you think that?
Well, they got a lot of new players coming back. They're going to be hungry after last year. Their most disappointing session, probably the most disappointing session in flag football history, not only in ECFF. And they got a lot of new guys coming.
Okay. Silverbacks definitely coming back with force. They have a lot of guys returning. Rodney, do you have anything to rebut?
I want to agree with that. It could be the Silverbacks. There's a couple of more teams that do have the ability to beat the Gators this year. Silverbacks, Wild Card, Untouchables, the newly formed W-Warren combination. Any of those teams could beat the Gators on any given day.
It's definitely going to be an interesting session. Carl, what do you think?
I would have to agree with Rodney is saying, basically the same teams as well. Chaconi could too, but the loss of Doc Holliday might hurt them, but
Yeah, forget about them.
their defense is strong.
Okay, well it seems the consensus is everyone is interested to see what the Silverbacks are going to do this season after a disappointing session last year. Silverbacks coming back, do we think that's good or bad for the league?
I think it's good.
I think it'll be great for the league.
I agree too. It's going to be great. I'm going to announce here and now that I am going to be joining the Silverbacks, so Old Meat is going to get stepped up this year. About 95% here, so get ready for us.
Breaking news, Rodney Newton is joining the Silverbacks this year. Even that brings its own dynamic to the team. What are some of the expectations for the league? I'm sorry, for the Silverbacks.
I have very high expectations for the Silverbacks. Just before the disappointing session, they went undefeated until the championship game, and they're adding Rodney. Cy is coming back, and I just think they're going to be very, very hungry to prove that they're still the best.
I mean, adding me on this in addition to a great team that's coming back. We have Cy Butler. For the kids and for the young guys who don't know who he is, think about how good Z is, but this guy's been doing it for the past 10, 12 years. Dominating tournaments, dominating leagues. With him and Z on the same field at the same time, who can stop that? The defense is going to be stepped up. A couple of older guys coming back. OJ's coming back. Guys who a lot of people in this league haven't seen yet. I'm telling you right now, be ready for the Silverbacks because they're coming out to kick ass this year.
Rodney Newton with strong words regarding the Silverbacks and their success that they should have this season. Carl, do you have anything to say about the Silverbacks this year?
Z the Beast. Cy Butler. That's all I gotta say.
That's all you gotta say. Okay, I'm going to go into the next question here. Rodney, I'm going to start with you. For any player in the ECFF, who would you, out of anybody, like to have on your team to build your team around?
If I was to build a team right now, I'd have to go with AC. I have to go with AC because, number one, he's won a national championship.
Of course, yeah.
He's one of the few quarterbacks who actually beat the Silverbacks in the championship. He just wins. Every team he goes to, every team he builds, he's a winner through and through. He can play both sides of the ball when he's healed. As you all know, he's been injured the past couple of sessions. He hasn't been 100%. If he is, he can play both sides of the ball and dominate. He could potentially be an offensive and a defensive MVP in the league.
Wow. Okay, Carl, what do you think?
I'd have to go with Z. Dynamic return man, receiver, great route runner, lockdown corner, safety, covers the entire field. Can't throw deep on him. When he's playing at his best and he's healthy, the Silverbacks did just too much.
Z is definitely an all-around player. You definitely want someone like that in your team. And what do you think?
I would build my team around the real best quarterback in the ECFF, Norm, because he actually is a national champion. I don't think AC actually is.
No,
But-
AC won a national championship.
Did he?
He did win a national
As
championship.
quarterback?
As a quarterback.
All right. So they're good tied there.
More recently. And Norm did it in 8-man. AC actually did it in 9-man.
All right, but they didn't have 9-man with Norman.
No, they had a 9. Oh, I'm not sure if they had 9-man if it was on this level, but AC's done it in the most recent level.
All right.
Most recent era, I should say, where it's more competitive than when Norm and the Silverbacks won.
All right. And people also forget, Norm is a 2-time champion of ECFF. And Norm, unlike AC, he finds the mismatches. He doesn't lock into one guy. I like Norm a lot better. When he has more weapons, he finds who's open. He doesn't just lock on to, say, a boy, he's going deep.
But AC is a weapon on himself.
Okay, so hold on. So you're saying...
So he just stands in the... I don't see him run often.
So you're saying that even with Norm's age, which isn't as much of an issue in a flag football league,
Yep.
but it's definitely an issue, you'd still rather have Norm to build your team around to take you to the championship.
Definitely, because another reason why Norm He doesn't lose his head at all. I see AC arguing with his players a lot. Norm, though, I see him a lot on the sideline coaching up his players. Even when he helped out, when he went with, to the tournament with the Gators, he didn't even play, but he was on the sideline coaching everyone up. I think his team morale is a lot better to bring than AC.
AC also does the same thing. You got to think of two of the biggest egos on the league. He has Avora, and he has Jerome Fonseca on his team.
He does.
He's able to keep them at bay.
I don't see him keeping them at bay. I see them screaming in each other's faces.
He did a good enough job. They won 2 championships
in a row. He did, but Norm won 2 championships in a row, too, without losing his head.
And if we're really thinking about it, didn't they win in NEFA before they came over as well? So it's really, they won 3 championships in a row if we want to think about it. The Gators are a team to be reckoned with, don't get me wrong. I understand there's a lot of teams that can compete with them, but as far as you stating that Norm would be better to start a team with than AC, I mean, the proof's in the pudding.
I don't see no pudding.
Okay, all right. A lot of conflicting minds on this table, of course, with all the great players in the ECFF. It could go either way. Everyone has their own opinion. Right now, I want to get into some of the Twitter questions. Earlier today on Twitter, at East Coast FF, ECFF, we asked for viewers to write in to see what kind of questions they'd like us to answer. Our first question came from Mike Dunphy. At ECFF, who is the most overrated player in the league? And I'm going to kick it to you.
I'm going to go back to what we were just talking about. Actually, I think AC is the most overrated player in the league.
Wow. Strong words.
Is there anything you'd like to base that on? Or
He gets away with having very good athletes on his team, I believe.
So you agree with Ant?
So you concur with that, huh?
I concur
AC, the season that he had that record-breaking touchdowns, I don't know if I seen him throw a touchdown that wasn't over 30 yards. He just throws it deep to Avora most of the time. Last session, the Gators struggled a lot on offense.
Well, a lot of them struggling last session. That teams kind of figured them out. They took everyone off guard their first session in the league. Teams kind of know what they like to do now, so that's why they didn't dominate and weren't at the level they were.
But if AC is supposedly
AC's injuries he was dealing with last year as well.
But if AC is supposedly the player you want to build your team around, he shouldn't be getting figured out and getting held to less than 20 points every week.
Well, he almost missed half the games as well this past year too. You have to remember that they did have Jiggy playing quarterback for them.
I do, but I also remember him getting shut out by a wild card.
That was the first game of the season. That means nothing.
And he didn't even put up over 10 in the championship.
All right, I'm going to kick to the next question. We're on a time limit here, boys. From Timmy Cordero, with many new teams coming into the league, which new team has the best chance to be successful? Carl, what do you think?
I'm not really familiar with any of the new teams, but I would go with the combination of Warren and a W as a new team together.
I think those combining forces, they're going to have a lot of good players in that team. They could be a contender. Ronnie, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Outcast. We don't know who's going to be at the helm. We don't know who's going to play quarterback, but I know Raph, and I know he's not going to bring a team in unless they're going to be able to compete.
And I'll go with Sound Effects, who beat Ciccone in the tournament, which looked really impressive.
Right. We all remember that. Matt Ryan wrote into us, now that Doc Holliday has retired, can Ciccone still be one of the top teams in the ECFF? Ronnie, that's an interesting question. There's a lot of questions surrounding Ciccone right now. What do you think?
I think with Lorenzo coming back, he's committed to playing the whole season. Tony Sanders and that defense that they do have right now, if they get a young quarterback who can deal with being the quarterback in Ciccone, because that's the toughest job in all of flag football, is being a quarterback for the Outlaws. Because of the sidelines, a lot of pressure. I believe they'll be a dominant team once again. I really feel like last year they fell off towards the end of the season. But a lot of that has to do with the opponents they face. The Untouchables always play the Cicones very well in playoff time. Watch out for them. If they have a young quarterback back there and if everyone can stick together, they might be champions this year.
Right. Steven Swoon just wrote in a couple minutes ago, was the wild card success last year a fluke? Carl, what do you think?
No, sir.
You think they're the real deal?
I think Ritt is very good. I think Jarrell's good. I think they have a very good offensive line, one of the most underrated offensive linemen in the league. That center's a beast.
Mm-hmm.
I think their defense is fast. I think they're young and with room to grow, and they're athletic.
And I want to intervene right now. It wasn't a fluke what they did last year, but let me tell you something. It's not Wild Cards League like the message board likes to say it is. It wasn't theirs to lose. That's not the case at all. Their center's a beast. I like Ritt. Jarrell, we all know how great, a fantastic player he is. But at the same time, Wild Card still has a lot of steps they have to take in order to be one of the top teams to be champions.
I have to disagree with that because the two-time champion Gators back-to-back, Wild Card shut them out once, and the championship, couple calls go their way, Wild Card's the champions.
Things could have definitely went a different way during the championship. There's a controversy there, but I think most of us will agree that the best team won the championship.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen this season. I'm going to wrap it up. We're here with Rodney Newton, Ant Reese, Carl. Myself is T-Dot. April 14th is opening day, people. We're all getting excited. There's a lot of hype coming around the session this time. We're expanding. It's going to be really exciting. So I want everyone to be coming out April 14th, opening day. We're going to have the skills competition that day. We're going to be remembering Billy Jones that day, and we're all very excited for a great session. So thank you.